Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, namaste, ni hao, konnichiwa, good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, here I am sat on the beach, and it's rather lovely here. Wish you were here. Wish I was here, actually. Only joking. Obviously, it's a green screen, and I'm just here. It's Ken at 10. Good morning to you. Hope you're well. A few things for you today, including a list of hotspots. I've got a couple of inspirational quotes for you today. You know, I love an inspirational quote, and I happen to have two today. So I'm going to run through those with you. And of course, the property headlines as normal. If you haven't been here before, then welcome. Thanks for coming. And we talk about property and just local politics, national politics, anything that comes to mind, really. Tomorrow we got an interesting one as well. We've got Deirdre coming on. She bought a house, sold a house for us recently and bought another one locally, and she's a scream. So she's coming on live to tell us about her experience at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And also we're doing a podcast tomorrow, as we do every week. And tomorrow we've got renowned developer Jeremy, who's coming on the show to tell us all about property development, the life of a property developer. We hope you find that one interesting too. And we also have the top hotspot in the UK for property right now. Stand by for that. I'll come back onto that in a moment. Lenders bring back 95% mortgages. Now, this is interesting. We did talk earlier on in the week about the fact that there was now 5% deposit mortgage available. Unfortunately, it wasn't available for people looking for flats. This is not financial advice, by the way. You need to speak to an independent financial advisor if you're going to do that. Then, but this is just general, really educational. And basically, what's happening is that for a long, long time, many of you will know that 20% deposit is what's normally required. And there have been a few 10% around, but the criterion is quite stringent. And the government made an announcement in the budget. Rishi Sunak kindly said that there will be support for first-time buyer mortgages at 95%, which start in April. However, one lender got ahead of the pack and started offering these deals, and some others are now following suit. It will be interesting to see whether any of these lenders will lend on flats, because that's the thing that's missing at the moment. You know, in London, here in London, a lot of the young people can't afford to get onto the market with a house. They need to buy a flat. And if they can't get 95% mortgages that will be allowable on flats, then the whole thing falls flat, pardon the pun. So really interested to see. But this is an article from the Daily Mail. It says lenders bring back 95% mortgages. More mortgage lenders are bringing back 5% deposit deals to help first-time buyers get on the ladder. A number of lenders have already launched their own 5% deposit deals. Yorkshire Building Society was the first. That was the one we talked about earlier. And it's since been followed by Skipton and Bank of Ireland. TSB has also announced it will roll out 5% deposit mortgages from April 7. Nationwide said it's currently exploring opportunities to bring back 5% deposit mortgages. And since March the 1st, the number of 5% mortgages have increased from just 5 to 9 deals. That's according to Money Facts. They're still down from a much bigger figure in March 2020. But of course, since then, we've had the lockdown, the pandemic and everything else. Just a couple of other things. Locking down the borders. You know, this is the thing that surprised me. I've really always been frustrated by this. I've got two thoughts on pandemic at the moment. Number one is we've got this under control now. Our vaccination program is ahead of most of the developed world. Europe's in a mess. They've got the Kent variant. And there are two things going through my head at the moment. I'm told by some experts, or I've read from some experts, that the variant that is spreading across Europe right now is the Kent variant. And we've already had that spread across the UK, and therefore it might not come back. Maybe that's one side of it. And the other side of me thinks, well, a year ago, you know, when we're all looking at each other and thinking, well, we're an island, why don't we just lock down the borders? Then surely we could contain the problem. And we didn't. And then we had this massive pandemic. And here we are again. The rest of Europe has a problem. We don't. Can we not lock down the borders? What is going on? Why don't we just do that? I just don't get it. And, you know, simple things like that, it seems the government takes so long to get, doesn't it? You know, it's like wearing of masks. Remember how long it took them to decide that wearing a mask was a good idea? I wonder how many lives would have been saved if we'd have done it in the first place. Rant over. That's it for me nationally on headlines today. Couple of motivational quotes, which we love. And I'll come back to those in a minute. Now on to property hotspots. I did promise you we'd tell you the hottest spot in Britain right now for property. And this is an article from the Daily Mail. Britain's hotspot villages have been revealed, with Marlborough near Salcombe in Devon, where prices have almost doubled in the past year, coming out on top, with 10 villages listed by Savills that have all seen property sale prices risen by more than 50% as demand outweighed supply. The list also includes Bisley with Lypiat, Blockley and Shipton under Wychwood, which all benefited from the Cotswold effect, and Braisted, and one of my colleagues lives in Braisted, so she was delighted to hear this, which is near Kent are commuter hotspots. Sevenoaks as well, of course, which is a very nice part of the world. Something else I saw in the papers this week I don't do, and I think it's a valid one and one that you should consider. You know, we see lots of people on social media that are showing their keys when they're moving in and saying, look, you know, proud owner of these new keys. And there was a security expert in the papers this week saying, whatever you do, I think it was an article in The Sun, whatever you do, don't actually show the teeth of the key, because if you do, that key can be copied just from those teeth. So make sure you cover it or show the other end of the key. So just be careful on that one. Apart from that, a couple of motivational quotes for you, because we love a motivational quote here on Ken at 10. Winning doesn't always mean being first. Winning means doing better than you've done before. Love that. And that's by Bernie Blair, a speed skater. And the second one comes from a guy called Wolfgang Reeb. No one is perfect. That's why pencils have erasers. Love that. That's it for today. Lots of valuations today. Lots going on. Lots of offers coming in as well. New instructions too. Really, really busy generally. The lettings market's starting to pick up, but from a low base. We're tending to find that, you know, we've had to cut rents on occasion in order to get the interest in. And I always say to my clients when they call up and say, you know, it hasn't gone, what do I do? You know, money talks. If it's not going at the price you've got, then look to reduce it and you'll find the inquiries start to come. That's it from me today. Hope you have a fantastic Thursday. Tomorrow, the best day of the week, Friday. We've got Deirdre coming on the show, which we're really looking forward to. And also the podcast first thing in the morning, which we'll release by sort of middle of the morning. So have a fantastic day. Look after yourself and your family. And we'll be back same time tomorrow for another Ken at 10. Stay safe.